So the other day at work, I was just scrolling through my TikTok and I came across someone giving all of our favorite demon characters some redeemed angel forms. And this made me go nuts. It got me thinking, like, if sinners can get redeemed, winners can definitely fall down to hell, right? Spoilers for Hazbin Hotel, but, like, Adam definitely died and went to hell, right? Like, there's no way he didn't. And that in of itself is such an interesting concept. I really hope the show explores this idea more, but in case it doesn't, I decided to take it upon myself to give Adam and Lute demon designs. I will say, since I first started working on this, I have seen quite a few others kind of do this concept, or even work on, or even like I've seen on Instagram kind of blow up the like AU swap idea where instead Charlie takes the role of Adam and Lute are like fighting for the hotel and sinners to get redeemed. So it's not a very unique concept or idea, but I want to try to give my own take on it and see if I can come up with something cool and something that stand on their own amongst all of the other designs out there. But without further ado, let's get into my actual designs. So first up is, of course, Adam himself. You'll see that I'm doing line art over a sketch. I did both of the sketches for Adam and Lute at work. I don't know what it is. I think just slacking off at work is when I feel the most artistically creative, and when inspiration hits, I don't tell it no. So sorry you don't get to see that part, but you'll see me going over the sketch and kind of pronouncing the things that I had originally put down. With Adam, I wanted to take his exorcist mask and just kind of make that his face. When I originally watched the show, I didn't realize they were masks. I mean, he was eating in the first episode. How was I supposed to know that was a mask, an LED mask? So I already thought it was kind of his face. So I just kind of I wanted to use his horns and I really like the yellow pupils he has on his LED mask. So I just brought that over onto his face for his demon design. And when it came to like choosing his colors and how I wanted him to look as a demon, I took a lot of inspiration from Vaggie and Lucifer's design. I figured since they are both canonical fallen angels in the show, it was good to kind of steal a few more elements from them. I definitely stole a lot more from Vaggie than Lucifer, just because they are both, or at least both I assume, winner angels. Like they're humans that died and then went to heaven and then became part of the exorcist army. That just is what I'm assuming with them. But for like Vaggie and a lot of the other female exorcists, we see a lot of like X motifs all over their bodies. Like Lute has one over her eye on her mask, and Vaggie has the giant floating X. And it's even pointed out by characters like Carmela saying, well, duh, of course you're an angel, you have the X over your eye. So I did bring a lot of X's into both his and Lute's design, but especially on him. Like he's got all the X buttons. I'm kind of like fighting where I want to put X's on his face. I decided to go with them under his cheeks, or on his cheeks, under his eyes. I thought that looked cute. And then for his color palette, I kept it pretty similar to his OG design. In his original design, he's got a lot of yellows, purples, and whites with a little bit of black accents on his horns and mask. So I just kind of kicked most of the white out. Like Angel Adam already looks kind of evil and scary anyways. Like I didn't really need to change much. The Exorcist, they don't look like normal good guys, you know? They have a lot of spikes, they're dark colored, their masks are like scary and demonic. They don't look like your typical angel characters. So that made it kind of easy and hard, because I don't want it to be like just a rehash of his angel outfit. So I gave more like kind of a torn up, spiky, like leather jacket instead of the robe. But also, I didn't really have to change too much about him because he already kind of fits the demon aesthetic, I guess. I don't know. But I'm really proud of how it turned out. I am really proud of how his hand came out. I am really bad at drawing hands. It's something as an artist I'm really working hard on to get better because I'm really bad. But hey, he has a hand. There it is. But no, I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. I think he looks pretty cool. Overall, I think I did a pretty decent job translating it from his angelic design, making him look more demonic. But let me know what you think, if you agree, if you disagree, what you would change about him. But yeah, there he is. And now on to Lute. Lute gave me a really hard time. Adam, I had like a pretty solid vision of what I wanted him to look like. He was this rock star, kind of asshole character. It's easy enough, and his angel form gave me a lot to work with. Well, Lute's didn't really. I love Lute, but she doesn't have much of a trope that I can kind of pull off of, or a character trait that I could pull off and make a full-on character redesign for. At least one that I could originally think of. But I knew I wanted her to match with Adam and them kind of be a set almost. But I also didn't want her to look just like my Adam design, but with longer hair. And you can see me struggling a lot with a lot of the ideas. I knew, just looking at her design, I knew I wanted to take the aspects of her mask. She has weird, cool stitching lines going across her face. She has the X in her as a pupil in her mask, and then the curly horns. So those for sure I knew I wanted to kind of transfer over. Just was a question of how and what I was going to do with it and how I was going to build off of that. But as you see, I'm kind of finally, I'm okay with the sketch, and this is still not even. I still changed quite a few little bits of it. But her outfit, I think, is a pretty big change from what she was originally wearing. In the original, she's got these really tall boots and that kind of dress with the turtleneck kind of feathered neck that most angels seem to have. But with Lute, I don't know, it didn't really fit the demon outcast vibes I was going for her. So I gave her a ripped up t-shirt. I did keep the turtleneck with the feather ruffles almost, and then I brought that same kind of texture up to her horns. I thought that looked pretty cool. It was reminiscent of her angel form, And then you'll see me kind of struggle with her coloring. I ended up going with a very similar skin tone that Vaggie has, just because she's pretty pale as an angel, but so was Vaggie, and she kind of grayed out, so I thought it would make sense that Lute would also. And then for her color palette, I had to completely change it. Lute has 2 colors. She's gray and white, or 3 colors, I guess. Gray, white, black. Not much for me to work with. So I stole the yellow from Adam so they kind of would match more, and then I did purple. I thought it looked nice with her hair and her skin tone. I just thought it looked pretty. Is it perfect? Probably not, but I think the colors look all really nice together and it works really well. But this is where I start to have a lot of fun. In her eye, I gave her a small little X to kind of reminisce over how her exorcist mask looked, and then I went in and gave her yellow stitching along her mouth, up her cheeks. I really like that effect. I think it looks really cool. It ties in that the stitching she has going across her mouth on her mask. And then I went nuts and just added it to all of her clothes. I added this yellow stitching everywhere. And I think that was the final missing touch, because her outfit was looking super plain. I wasn't it needed something, and I think this was that something, and I think it tied it all together really well. It made it more, edgy looking, while also staying pretty true to her color, or pretty true to her character. But yeah, here she is. I'm really proud of how she turned out. I think she just looks really cool. I like her face up. I like all of her colors and how they work together. I think she turned out pretty cool. But here they are together, my finished demon angel guys. I think they look really good. I like how they look together, and that was kind of my goal going into this. I wanted to make a pair in a set, and I think they mesh really well together as a duo. But yeah, this is what I think they would look like if they were demons instead of angels. I'm really proud of how these turned out. This was a really fun exercise to do. I know it's not the most original, and I definitely had a lot of inspiration from the hundreds of artists on TikTok I saw doing this, and doing the Hazbin demons into angels. Definitely stole the idea, but I think they turned out really cute, and I had a lot of fun drawing them. While Hazbin is by no means a perfect show, I really love the characters and the world the story takes place in. I'm currently working on a really big project of rewriting and redesigning all of the characters and the whole story of Hazbin, and it's taking me really long, so this is a fun little exercise to give myself just a small break from working on that. But if that sounds at all interesting, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. I'm hoping to have that out soon-ish. But go ahead and let me know what you think of these designs and what you would do or what you would change. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!